Alright guys, today I'm reacting to the entire FNAF timeline. This is a video by FNAF, but I'm kind of interested. I just played FNAF 1, 2, 3, and 4 all in one sitting. So I'm going straight into reacting to the timeline of events. Let's get into it. I have a feeling I'm going to need to take notes during this. 1970s? Okay.
Back in the 70s, a company called Fazbear Entertainment got its start by creating different props and mascot costumes.
This is the production in this video is insane.
For something called the Fall Fest, popular of all.
Dude, so how have people got all this lore? This can't just be from FNAF 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? This is insane.
And Bonnie. These specific mascot costumes were so popular, Fazbear Entertainment opened a dedicated restaurant for them called Fredbear's Family Diner.
What is that?
Ending in a giant fire.
Oh, is that from... I've seen that before. Isn't it called like The Mimic or something? A FNAF game?
Everything from the Fall Fest being destroyed.
What the hell? This is insane. What is this production value? Everyone go check this guy out. This is insane. I feel bad watching this. That is from The Mimic? Yeah, okay.
The specifics about the animatronic that went rogue
I've seen it on the cover of the game.
Are unknown and will likely be revealed next year in FNAF's next big release.
Oh yeah, so that's there. That's what I've seen.
How this fire occurred, we do know that after the fire, Fazbear Entertainment started phasing out of the mascot costume era. They needed
ugly
something
outfits.
new. The two men who helped found Fazbear Entertainment, William Afton and Emily, stepped up to the plate. Props for the company.
Okay, William and
Fall Fest
Henry.
Era of the company coming to a close, they were only left with Fredbear's Family Diner. This eventually creating the new Fredbear and Spring Bonnie. The same characters, but with new designs and new suits. It's a hand crank to pull back the animatronic parts, leaving room for them to climb inside. The spring.
Are all these videos we're seeing right now from games, or is this video's animations? Because this is insane.
And with even a little bit of moisture, the spring locks could potentially snap shut, crushing and killing whoever was inside. But if that ended up happening, Fazbear Entertainment had some common sense procedures set in place.
In case that the spring locks come loose while you are wearing a suit, please try to maneuver away from populated areas before bleeding out, as to not ruin the customer experience.
Fredbear's Family Diner ended up
so if you're gonna die in a quiet place.
William and Henry, so much so that other companies tried replicating it. Rip off Fazbear Entertainment's old mascot characters by creating their own
What have I seen these guys
versions of them. The leader of the group was Ned Bear, a direct copy of Fredbear, followed by a hippo, an elephant, and a frog. Their robots were poorly made and had to have giant batteries with exposed technology on stage with them. Naturally, the rival company failed and ended up being bought out by Fazbear Entertainment.
Unlucky.
With all of the success from Fredbear's Family Diner, William and Henry decided to branch out and create more characters for a new restaurant. But with two restaurants now open at the same time, more success also meant more work for William and Henry. The duo were so wrapped up in work that they started neglecting their own families. William was the father of three kids,
unlock a little
eldest,
bit.
Michael, the crying child, and Elizabeth.
Okay, so that's who we just played as, is the crying child. And Michael's the little shit that scared us. I haven't seen Elizabeth though.
The child has yet to have a 100% confirmed name. Meanwhile, Henry had one kid, a daughter named Charlie. The business partners spent most of their days working.
Why does he look
so
like
they
a
both
ghost?
created different ways of taking care of their kids. So he used his talents to create a new animatronic to watch Charlie for him.
Why would he make it look so creepy if it's gonna look after your kid? That is the most horrifying looking one.
It was called the security puppet. This made it so Charlie could play at the restaurant while Henry worked, without Henry having to worry about her leaving the building or getting kidnapped. The robot was linked directly to a green bracelet that Charlie was wearing. The crying child saw something that would scar him for the rest of his life. While wandering the restaurant, he walked by the employees only room, where an employee accidentally left the door open. Inside the room was his father, William Afton.
His immersion got ruined.
Helping another employee into a Spring Bonnie suit. But through the eyes of the crying child, this looked like someone was literally being stuffed into an animatronic suit. And this imaginary friend took the form of the object he loved the most.
Wait, so the crying child got traumatized from a man putting a suit on. Okay.
Fredbear plushie. While the crying child was dealing with the trauma of seeing what he thinks was someone being stuffed.
Crying child watched man get stuffed into suit and became a schizophrenic.
into a suit,
Locked
his
in.
brother Michael was only making it worse. Michael knew about what happened with his younger brother and used it against him. Every day while
Michael was a
babysitting
menace.
the crying child, Michael would put on a foxy mask, hide somewhere in the house, and jump scare his little brother.
What the hell? We're in a movie. Am I about to get jump scared by Michael?
From the pizzeria to your living room, you no longer have to wait to sing and dance.
Damn.
Fazbear and Friends. Weeknights
What's
at
the show?
7 Central. Only on.
Wait, he's gonna... What the hell is this organized prank Michael's set up? This is insane. Oh my god. Oh my...
Through all of Michael's bullying, the crying child's imaginary friend Fredbear would comfort him, but all of this bullying
So the
would
whole
come to
town is like tormenting this little child who has PTSD from a man putting a suit on.
a head on
God.
one special day, the crying child's birthday, planning a prank that would go terribly wrong.
Oh no, what happened? Oh. Oh. Oh.
Michael and his friends lifted the crying child up to, quote, give Fredbear a big kiss, and Fredbear...
What did they think would happen? Surely Michael's like rotting in prison after this, right? What? Huh?
bit down on him, leaving his body to go limp. Michael and his friends
That's
quickly
insane.
stopped laughing. The crying child was taken home so he could be comfortable, surrounded by his only friends, his plushies. In the crying
This is so
child's final
sad.
moments, Michael decides to apologize for what he's done. I don't know if you can hear me. I'm sorry. After Michael speaks, the crying child's imaginary friend Fredbear, created out of the trauma he experienced, continues doing what it's done the whole time, saying, "You're broken. We are still your friends. Do you still believe that? I'm still here."
This is so
would be the final
depressing.
thing the crying child hears before he dies, burying the crying child's
Oh
body
my
in the
God.
middle of
They're
the
covering
woods
the-
where no one
Oh my
would
God.
find him. No tombstone, no flowers, just a pile of dirt, an unmarked grave,
That's
and a
insane.
lifetime's worth of guilt that Michael would have to live with. And Fredbear was completely wiped from existence. The Fredbear and Friends TV show turned
Kind of
into
like in
Freddy
shock from
and
this.
Friends on tour. The Fredbear
the
and Spring
fuck?
Bonnie Springlock suits also ended up being moved into
Wait, so Michael murdered his brother, and then him and his dad William buried him in a random plot of land. So now his body is like fused into Freddy, and they're gonna torment them.
the back room
That's
of Freddy
insane.
Fazbear's Pizza, mainly being used as spare suits if one of the Freddy's animatronics broke down. The death of William Afton's youngest son was a pivotal moment in this story, specifically William Afton's story. This was the first domino to fall. He had little to no empathy. All he cared about was work and comparing himself to his business partner, Henry. Henry
Oh
had
no,
a wife,
this is
a
gonna go
kid,
bad.
and a talent for robotics that Afton was utterly jealous of. He decided that he was going to settle the score with Henry. Afton, drunk
gonna
and
kill the
filled with
kid?
rage, drove from the bar to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza,
Charlie?
where he knew Charlie was being watched
No.
over by Henry's security puppet.
What?
He didn't care if he got caught, and he didn't care
What?
if he went to prison. It turned out that some bullies were able to trap the security puppet in its box and lock Charlie outside
Oh my
the
God.
building, giving
Why is
Afton
everyone
the
insane?
perfect opportunity to kill Charlie outside of the pizzeria. The security puppet was eventually able to escape its box. As Afton sped away, the puppet noticed that Charlie was outside in the pouring rain. It then did what it was programmed to do and went to protect her. But as the puppet got closer to Charlie's body, the rain started making it short circuit. It was
Oof.
forced to crawl its way over to her until the rain got to be too much. While Charlie and the puppet lay lifeless next to each other, Afton was speeding home, driving right past where he buried his son and the bar he got kicked out of. Afton was a drunk and abusive father and fully blamed Michael for what happened to his youngest son. Mrs. Afton tells him to leave Michael alone because he's had a tough day, but Afton doesn't listen. He goes over to Michael's room and pounds on the door, only for the door to be locked. He then makes his way around the house to try and find a way in from the outside, and Michael was gone. Michael was so upset by what he did to his brother that he would sometimes see visions of Fredbear appear and disappear. Tonight, Fredbear appeared outside his bedroom.
Wait, was that like when I played FNAF 1, I had like this flash on my screen and I was told it was Golden Freddy. Was that like, was I playing as, I wouldn't be playing as Michael though, would I?
The guilt of killing his younger brother haunted Michael in his real life, but also in his dreams. Michael would constantly have nightmares about the animatronic that took his brother's life. These were the exact same nightmares his younger brother used to have every night, now passed on to him.
These animations are fucking insane. I can't believe this is just for the video. Also, did we play as Michael in FNAF 4? Not the crying child. Oh my god. Don't shine the light, don't shine the light. Oh no. Oh my god. Oh my god.
After the death of Charlie, Fazbear Entertainment tried their best at covering it up. Dark tears now appeared on the mask of the animatronic. Dark tears that weren't there before. This is something that Afton quickly noticed the next day when he went into work.
Also, is Charlie's soul trapped in that puppet now?
He'd heard about what happened moments after he sped off. He knew the security puppet was found laying next to Charlie's body. So does that mean Charlie's soul now resided in the puppet? William definitely noticed that the puppet looked different, almost like it was haunted, almost like it was thinking. Other employees would eventually notice the same thing.
I'll be honest, I never liked that puppet thing. It's always thinking, and it can go anywhere.
After realizing the security puppet may be possessed by the spirit of Charlie, Afton went back and looked at the crying child's Fredbear plushie, only to find that it also seemed to be haunted. Afton quickly became obsessed with the concept of haunted objects, and more specifically, the power of human emotion.
Crazy.
He needed to find out if this is something
This is making me want to watch the FNAF movie. I might watch the first one tonight. This lore is insane.
He could take advantage of. Afton then used all of his money he made from Fredbear's and Freddy Fazbear's Pizza to build a giant underground facility directly under his house. He needed to replicate exactly what his son went through every day. In order to do this, Afton built a replica
This was in Sister Location.
Underground, along with his son's daily walk to Fredbear's family diner. He also built a makeshift bedroom where he could force kids to have the same nightmare every night. Afton would sit in his office watching them on the cameras. In the makeshift bedroom, there were dummy animatronics that wheeled down the hallway. But the kids wouldn't see them as just blank dummies on wheels. Afton would pump hallucinogenic gas into the room to get the kids to think that what they were seeing was a monster. These nightmare gas canisters were being stored all throughout his underground facilities. After setting up the bunker...
Wait, so what game is that from? Taking a bunch of random kids and making them go through the same thing his kid did.
Afton was only missing one more thing, the kids to run these experiments on. He needed a way to kidnap and capture kids without being caught, and he had the perfect way to do it. Enter Circus Baby and the Funtime animatronics.
So these are the Sister Location people.
To capture kids, featuring Circus Baby, Funtime Freddy, Funtime Fox.
Oh, wait, so FNAF 4, you're a kidnapped kid being put through what Crying Child was put through. I thought FNAF 4 you were the crying child.
and Ballora. They feature advanced technologies such as parental tracking, voice mimicking / luring, and storage tanks. Once the kid got too close, a giant claw would reach out, grab them, and lock them in the animatronic's storage tank. Elizabeth, William Afton's daughter, was fascinated by Circus Baby. All she wanted to do was play with her, but Afton wouldn't let her.
Oh, they're the voices we heard in Sister Location. Oh.
He strictly told her to stay away from the animatronic, but one day, she didn't listen. On the opening day of Circus Baby's Pizza World, another domino would fall in Afton's life, and Elizabeth would soon be the victim of his terrible misdeeds.
Dumbass.
There were 4, then 3, then 2, then 1.
Oof.
Time to play.
Oh no. The thing's gonna shoot out of her stomach.
Ice cream.
Oof.
Afton covered up the incident by telling the public that the restaurant shut down due to gas leaks. Local newspaper wrote,
This guy's a fucking psychopath. What? He's killed both his kids and he like abuses his other kid. This is insane.
Baby. One distinct feature about Circus Baby was her blue eyes. But what once was blue eyes now were green. The same color as Elizabeth.
Oh, that's not freaky at all.
He knew that his daughter's soul attached itself to the robot. The public was already getting too suspicious of the animatronics. But he didn't need the Funtime animatronics. He was going to run the experiment himself.
This guy never learns. He just keeps on killing kids. It's insane.
In 1985, William Afton made his way to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza to lure 5 kids into the back room.
What a psycho. Yo, thanks for the follow. Oh, song's a vibe. Okay, we're gaming. I can't get over how cool these animations are. Uh-oh. What's that shadow? What is that?
Hello. Looking for a friend?
What the Oh my god. Oh my god, what a psycho.
One by one, Afton killed them and stuffed their bodies into the animatronics. Gabriel went into Freddy, Jeremy into Bonnie, Fritz into Foxy, and then there was Cassidy, who went their bodies into the animatronics. Susie was first, being stuffed into Chica. Gabriel went into
Susie,
Freddy, Jeremy
Gabriel,
into Bonnie, Fritz
Jeremy,
into
and Fritz. Susie, Gabriel, Jeremy, Fritz. Okay.
And then there was Cassidy, who went into Fredbear, aka Golden Freddy. At this point, Afton had no idea that the crying child spirit was in Golden Freddy, so he didn't think twice about shoving Cassidy in there. The way Afton killed Cassidy, though, was different from the rest. Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy were just regular animatronics. Afton had no choice but to kill them, then stuff them into the suits. He put him into the suit and watched as the spring locks snapped shut, cementing Cassidy's death as the most brutal of them all.
Oh my
Freddy,
god.
Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and Golden Freddy weren't the only animatronics sitting in the back room of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, though. They were joined by the security puppet, which contained the soul of Henry's daughter, Charlie. Once Afton was gone, Charlie jumped into action, almost acting as a guide for their souls, properly giving them life inside of each animatronic.
Wait, so how did he get... So he killed these kids, and then... How did the security puppet Charlie just get the souls into the animatronics? How the hell does that work?
Bad press that came from the missing children said he knew he couldn't try opening another Circus Babies restaurant, so he had a new idea.
Due to the massive
So this is
success,
Sister Location.
even more so
Okay.
the unfortunate closing of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, it was clear that the stage was set, no pun intended, for another contender in children's entertainment.
They died in the animatronics, so their souls melted to them. Okay. So it doesn't matter where their body is after, if they die. But didn't it just say that he lured them away with a knife or something? He like would lure them away when he was in the suit, and then he would kill them? Or would he lure them away and then put them into the suit to die? Yeah, okay. Okay. I gotcha.
Afton opened Circus Babies Entertainment and Rental, brand new versions of their original character.
God damn.
and they were once again built by Henry. Henry was aware of what happened in 1985.
Henry's still working
and
for him?
especially of what happened to Foxy, Golden Freddy, and
How is
Speed
Henry still working for this guy? Like, so Henry has no idea that William murdered his child.
Bonnie were also moved to the new pizzeria. This means that the haunted metal of the original Freddy's animatronics was now being put into the toy animatronics.
Oh,
After
so
Afton got
parts from the old ones are being put into the new ones, making the new ones possessed as well. God damn.
away with the first set of murders, he needed to see if the kids' spirits were possessing the animatronics. Jeremy
This is
worked
FNAF
there
2.
for 5 nights, and unfortunately for him, because the kids possessing the animatronics were killed by an adult, they were extremely aggressive to any adult they encountered. Afton used the spring Bonnie suit to pull the same stunt again on 5 more kids. But as he was committing the murders, Charlie, from inside the puppet, was actively trying to save the kids. She tried.
So what's he even... Is he just like a mad scientist now? Is he trying to make like an army of possessed puppets? Like what's he actually trying to achieve?
Pizzeria shuts down and fast.
Oh my god,
Instead
I'm
of stuffing
shutting...
the new set of victims into the toy animatronics, he decided to leave the kids out in plain sight, scattered throughout the pizzeria. The next day, during Jeremy's day shift, one of the animatronics bit him in the head. This was infamously known as the bite of 87.
Damn! Bite of 87, Markiplier meme.
Meanwhile, after
He went mad scientist and he's just trying to figure out what he can do.
he successfully got the pizzeria shut down. William was abusive and manipulative,
that man
while
still
Michael was
walking
haunted
free?
by the guilt of what he did to his younger brother. Because of this, Michael basically acted as William's puppet. The original Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy were going to be fixed up and reused, this time using the exact same building as the first Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. As you can imagine, this didn't work out great for the business.
How are
People
they even allowed to
already had a bad
buy
impression
that
of
land
Fazbear
again?
Entertainment. Once the pizzeria shut down, Afton came up with a plan to steal the endos from the animatronics. Each pizzeria was designed with something called a safe room.
Invisible to animatronics.
Why wouldn't the people just work there then, in all the FNAF games?
He planned to use the same trick to lure the same kids
Fool
all
me
over
once.
again.
What was that? Bonnie! I forgot what the kid's name was already. Is that William? Creepy fucker. What? Oh, that was those.
Once he
I remember
finished
that.
dismantling each animatronic and stealing their endoskeleton, he brought them
Oh,
down
yeah,
to
he
his
lures you away.
underground
Yeah, he's like,
bunker,
"Follow
where
me."
He would melt them all down into one liquid substance called remnant. He would use their souls long after they're gone for his own personal gain.
What a goddamn psycho. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's messed up. This is so messed up. What the fuck? So now I root for the animatronics. What? This is where FNAF 3 started. RIP. Say your farewells.
By melting down the endos, he successfully created remnant.
Oh my god, a madman having possessed metal. He could make anything. Anything he makes will just be possessed. Oh my god.
And went back to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza to
Being
collect
smart,
his
but
old
use it for
spring
killing.
Bonnie
For
suit.
real,
But
dude,
once
honestly,
he got there,
he could have done
was met with
anything.
the spirits of the 5 missing children. Cassidy, the
Ha.
spirit inside Golden Freddy,
Dumbass.
chased Afton around the room and forced him to
Wait,
get hooked.
wait,
William Afton
what?
unlocked the power of life itself. But once he got there, he was met with the spirits of the 5 missing children, trapping him inside the safe room.
Dumbass.
Cassidy, the spirit inside Golden Freddy, chased Afton around the room. At this point, Afton knew how a spirit could live on. As long as he was inside the suit, he knew he'd be back.
Oh my god. Jesus. Okay, so
As
he's,
Afton
yeah.
laughed, the spring
So he's in the
locks
spring
snapped
lock
shut,
Bonnie
forcing
suit.
him to go through what Cassidy went through. This was an act of revenge
Bonnie?
by
Yeah.
Cassidy,
Is that
and
Bonnie?
it wouldn't be the last.
was that
Afton
the
was
Freddy
now
suit?
confined to the safe room of the now shut down Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Everything in his underground bunker was left abandoned.
But this is
After
so
Afton went missing,
messed
his
up.
eldest son Michael, who's been blindly helping his father, remembered what his father told him if he ever went missing. If William wasn't there to finish his work, Michael would do it for him. Afton's
my
underground
God.
facility was always
Fucking
off
Michael,
limits to
man.
Michael, but since he was now gone, Michael had no choice. He took the elevator down to where his father worked every day. Although Michael was helping out his father by stealing some of the endos from the animatronics back in the day, he never exactly knew what William was doing until he got down into the bunker.
Oh no. Well, that's freaky.
Over the several days he visited the bunker, he learned more about what his father was up to, and he learned through the voice of Baby exactly how his sister died.
Oh yeah, I didn't
A
even
little
know.
girl, standing by herself, my stomach opened, and there was ice cream.
But as the week went on, Baby was conducting a plan of her own, a plan to escape the bunker. She was entirely devoted to her father.
Oh wait, so sister location we're playing as Michael, going down into the basement where William's things was. Is that what this is saying?
And would do anything to make him proud of her. At the end of the week, all of the Funtime animatronics endos were scooped out, with all of them combining into one animatronic called Ennard. This creature, containing the spirits
God.
of the missing kids,
Always put us back inside. There's nowhere for us to hide here.
This is so fucked up.
There's nowhere to go.
Oh my god.
Michael Afton's insides got scooped out and replaced by Ennard, helping all of the
Jesus.
souls to escape the facility.
Oh,
His
that's
skin
right.
was
I remember
starting to
this.
turn purple, and people started to notice. Michael's body was no longer a good disguise for Ennard, so Ennard ejected itself from Michael. But because the
That's
scooper
what that
was also
was.
a remnant injector, when Michael Afton was scooped, he was also injected with remnant.
Wait, so now Michael's like this. I don't even know. It's like a soul in his dead body. Like his whole body's dead because his insides were scooped out. So he's just like a soul in like a walking skin corpse, like a walking skin suit.
Father, it's me, Michael. I'm going to come find you.
God.
Guaranteed
What's
the
FNAF? What's it called? Security Breach? Is that game good? I haven't played that one.
intention of burning
Really
the place
good?
to the
Ooh,
ground.
I'll do that
when
for
he
a
got
video then.
there, he saw the remnants of the animatronics,
Why is this FNAF
missing
3?
every single one
I
of
wasn't a
their
big fan of the third one.
endoskeletons. He knew they could only find the shells of the animatronics because he and his father stole their endoskeletons all those years ago.
Oh, that's why there was
This
a real one
real
actually showing up.
animatronic ended up being his father. Still inside the spring Bonnie suit he died
Oh, that's him. Oh my god. Yeah.
in
Whoa.
decades ago. Even though his father was now in the building with him, he still decided to go through on his plan. Michael then rigged the wiring in the building to catch fire, burning the horror attraction to the ground with his father inside.
Burn William down. So this is all the original people and William.
The local newspaper would write about the fire, saying a new local attraction based on an ancient pizzeria chain burned down overnight, miraculously was able to survive. William
Oh my
was
god,
now
of course he
free,
was.
roaming the outside world along with the souls of the missing children, Elizabeth, and Charlie inside the puppet. His
Henry
old
is
business
back.
partner and father of Charlie heard about the fire at Fazbear's Fright, along with the rumors of the various animatronic creatures now roaming the streets.
Oh my god, he's finally gonna do something besides make more monsters.
It's only now that I understand the depth of the depravity of this creature, this monster that I unwillingly helped to create, as if what he had already done wasn't enough, in ways I never thought imaginable.
This is such a cool
He
story.
lured them all back to a familiar place, back with familiar tricks. He brought them all together. Are they still aware? He set some kind of trap. I don't know what it was, but he led them there again. He overpowered
Henry's
them
learning.
again. Together
Ooh.
in one place.
By gathering all of the animatronics in one place and locking them in the same room, he would be able to burn them all to the ground for good in the
Lock in
process.
Henry,
In order
come on.
to do this, Henry created a new restaurant called Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Place. Charlie was different though. She was smarter than the rest, so Henry knew she wouldn't be as easily fooled. So he created an animatronic called Lefty, Fuse, Transport, and Extract, specifically to capture the puppet and bring it to the pizzeria, while trying to
A lefty. FNAF went woke.
find someone that would help him carry out his plan. One person showed up for the job. Finally end all of this. Michael Afton. Day after day, the animatronics
Michael and
roaming
Henry
the
team
streets
up.
would show up in the alleyway next to the pizzeria, collect each animatronic and throw them into a facility under the pizzeria, designed to be a maze with no exit, until the end of the week, where they would all be burned to the ground. With all of the souls,
What the fuck?
including William
Wait, that's
himself,
evil.
now
All these kids and everything that have been trapped in these animatronics are now put in a maze where they're just walking endlessly with no escape until they get burnt alive.
out in one place,
Jesus.
Henry's plan was in motion.
You played right into our hands. Did you really think that this job just fell out of the sky for you? No, this was a gift.
Connection terminated. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Elizabeth, if you still even remember that name, but I'm afraid you've been misinformed. You are not here to receive a gift, nor have you been called here by the individual you assume, although you have indeed been called.
God damn.
You have all been called here, into a labyrinth of sounds and smells, misdirection, and misfortune. A labyrinth with no exit, a maze with no prize.
In like a
You
saw
don't
trap.
even realize that you are trapped. This is where your story ends. And to you, my brave volunteer, who somehow found this job listing not intended for you. Although there was a way out planned for you, I have a feeling that's not what you want. I am remaining as well. I am nearby. This place will not be remembered, and the memory of everything that started this.
Wait, so Henry and the worker. So Henry hired someone, and the person he hired and Henry are just going like on a kamikaze mission to burn this place down. What?
This can finally begin to fade away. My daughter, if you can hear me, I knew you would return as well. It's in your nature to protect the innocent. I'm sorry that on that day, the day you were shut out and left to die, no one was there to lift you up into their arms, the way you lifted others into yours. I should have known you wouldn't be content to disappear. Not my daughter. It's time to rest, for you and for those you have carried in your arms.
W. Henry.
This ends for all of us.
But why is Henry taking himself out? Why doesn't he
Putting
just burn
fire
it?
to the animatronics may have freed the
When he's
spirits
not
from
in
the
there.
metal of the robots, but some of them still needed help actually moving on into the afterlife. In the world of Five Nights at Freddy's, the way a spirit can move on is by them being put into a happy memory. The memory Charlie chose actually comes from the crying child and the day he got bit. Piece by piece, Charlie put that terrible, shattered memory back together. Charlie changed it so that all of the missing kids and Charlie would celebrate him, giving him a giant birthday cake. By
That's
changing
wholesome.
that terrible memory into a happy one and attaching all of the spirits to it, they were able to successfully pass into the afterlife.
W. Charlie.
Like I said, they were all able to move on, except for one.
Who? Is the crying child? Who was this? Or is this the one that was in the Golden Freddy suit? What's her name, like Cassie or something?
Cassidy, the most
Cassidy,
vengeful spirit
that's
of
the
them all,
one.
wasn't done yet. He decided to
course.
attach his soul to William's, making sure that William was unable to move on. He was able to trap Afton in an endless loop of death. He made Afton
that's
relive
badass.
every one of his terrible misdeeds. The fear experiments, his underground bunker, and the pizzeria where Cassidy was killed. Afton experienced all of this while being attacked and killed over and over again.
Okay,
Every
Cassidy's a
time an
beast.
animatronic would attack him, Cassidy would be there, reminding him that the suffering will never end.
I will never let
Beast.
you rest.
He deserved to pay for what he's done for all of eternity. Make sure to subscribe, and thanks for watching.
Damn. That was such a good video. Shout out FNAF, whatever that is. Damn, okay. So that is so much more morbid than I thought it was. My god. Well, so all those animatronics that I've been screaming at are the souls of dead children. You did a really good job with the story. Yeah, that was so good. Damn. Well, the more you know. That's insane. That's sick. Is the FNAF movie like anything to do with these stories? Or is it just guy works at pizzeria and gets scared? 'Cause that's such a cool story. Okay. I think that's it for me. I enjoyed that. Farewell, farewell.